Just waking up with us here on 13 Sunrise, we certainly appreciate it. And it's one of those days, if you don't have nothing to do, like you mentioned earlier, Lindsay, breakfast in bed, day after Valentine's Day.
That's right.
Treat your wife or husband, to a nice breakfast in bed, because it is a wet and dreary day, Lindsay.
It is tough out there, and we could still have some slick conditions depending on if you are driving where there has been some untreated pavement and things like that. So I wanted to start with a look on the north side of town. Yeah, it's just as gloomy as it gets out there this morning. And the good news is we are seeing that moisture kind of wrapping up, and we're going to see a lull in that precip for today before round 2 arrives later tonight, mainly after 6 p.m. So this is a look at 465 at the Allisonville Road junction here. And again, use caution if you are backing out of your driveway and you didn't put some salt down beforehand. There might still be some patches of ice due to that freezing rain that rolled through while most of us were sleeping. Here's a look at the radar over the past 6 hours. Everything again kind of wrapping up as we speak, but it was really messy overnight. This was earlier this morning where we did have that freezing rain. That again now moving out, and as we're drying things up, the temperature is actually starting to rise. So all of those winter weather advisories set to expire. A lot of them expired ahead of time. Otherwise, they will expire altogether at about 10 o'clock this morning. Richmond is at 34 right now. It's 37 in Shelbyville, and now we're up to 34 here in the Indy Metro. And temperatures will continue to rise as we go through the next several hours. So if you're headed toward Indianapolis for Butler, going to be hosting Georgetown for a 2 o'clock tip at Hinkle Fieldhouse this afternoon. We will see some dry conditions before that rain picks back up toward the end of the game as temperatures recover back into the low 40s for highs today. We're going to see quite the range. It will be warmer across the southern half of the state, closer to where a warm front stalls out. 42 in Indy, 38 up in Kokomo, and enjoy this dry time while we've got it. Here's wave 2 as we get you into the evening tonight. Things look good through the duration of this afternoon, but really after about 6 p.m., things are going to become more active as more widespread rain sets up. And the temperature here at the service is going to be critical because of what kind of precip we are anticipating. So initially, as this moves in, we're going to be well above that freezing mark. So that means we're going to have several hours of rain. This is your overnight forecast, by the way. Look at 4 a.m. We're going to start to drop back near freezing. So we'll see that transition from rain to a wintry mix. And then as temperatures fall below that freezing mark through the first part of the day on Sunday, this becomes an all snow event. And that's not just for the metro, that's for the entire area through the course of the day on Sunday. So I want you to be prepared for this impact here as our precip becomes all snow approximately after 2 o'clock in the morning, lasting through the day Sunday from northwest to southeast. That's where we'll see that colder air moving in from. There could even be some heavier snow bands at times and the potential that we could have 30 to 40 mile per hour wind gusts. So you'll need to pay attention to that if you do have travel plans on Sunday. Let's pick this back up around 8 o'clock. Now we'll go through the overnight as that colder air takes back over. Notice where we'll be right at 32. This is about 2 o'clock in the morning. So that transition first happens for places like Kokomo to Lafayette. Colder air takes over the Indy Metro by about 4 a.m. And then there we go, everybody underneath that scattered light to moderate snowfall by daybreak on Sunday. Now, the best accumulation chance will be in the earlier morning hours. This is by 10 a.m. You'll notice the snow activity not as widespread or heavy, but we could still potentially see some light snow adding to these accumulation totals. Most of the area basically along and north of the I-70 corridor in that 1 to 2 inch zone. Could see some isolated spots up to 3 inches and then up to 1 inch for our southernmost counties for the duration of the day on Sunday. Once that snow moves out, the Arctic air settles in. It is going to be a colder, drier air mass with daytime highs falling into the teens for most of next week.